overall pretty strong. It doesn't really have a weak matchups in the bottom lane, and it helps with a lot of movement and pressure for the team. So let's say she has pressure in laning phase, she has pressure in mid game, and she's a hyper carry in late game. So in every single phase of the game, she's just pretty good, and that makes her like one of the best meta champions for AD carry right now. She does pretty well against every meta champion. She does well into Lucian early game. Then the only threat that Lucian has on Ashe is when he gets Yomus. But overall, she just wins the whole laning phase until then. The same works with like Tristana, Ezreal, Sivir. Those champs don't really, they never beat Ashe in lane. Ashe always beats them with pressure and with damage she can output. So that's what makes her very good, that she doesn't really have a weak matchup. Or like the weakest matchups are Lucian and Jhin. And those are only situational. It's not like you can't win against them or anything. It's more or less like 50-50. You have to watch out for their power spikes, and then you have to play around your power spikes, and then it's very easy to win laning phase. Ashe is pretty strong when she gets 3 items. She never like falls off or anything. She just keeps scaling upwards. She's on the hyper carry in late game with more items she gets. Early game, it's a bit weaker when she gets like 1 item, because you can't really do anything in team fight other than arrow and engage. With terms of damage, she doesn't really have that much damage, because there are other champions that build Yomus to have more damage in that specific case, but it's nothing big, so it's still pretty good. Squishies are usually like the best Ashe's versus, because she can arrow everyone, and immobile champion. If the enemy champions don't have dashes and they are squishy, then it's very easy for Ashe to carry the game, because she can arrow anyone in the game, and then if she does, they just die. Ashe is not really good into champions that can run at her, like Hecarim, Shen, Olaf, sometimes even Rek'Sai, but depends. Those champions are very easy to kill Ashe with, so she has to be very careful about that, and maybe needs a good support that can peel for her, or a lot of CC. But generally, just the rush team comps that abuse her immobility are the best ones versus her. Right now, there are 2 separate build paths that you can build, and it usually depends on the way the game is being played. The first build is Essence Reaver, Hurricane into Infinity Edge, and then the second build is Infinity Edge, Hurricane, and per the Zeal item, you can get a Phantom Dancer, you can get a Static Shield, you can get a Rapid Cannon, it doesn't matter. These 2 builds have a different power spikes and different way how you should play with them. With the first Essence Reaver build, that's a build when you know that you can arrow all the time and you will hit it. So if you play against champions that don't have a dash and are squishy, then it's very good to build this one. It makes you have less damage early and mid game. Until you have 3 items, you have basically way less damage than with the other build, but you have low cooldown on arrow that you can just basically carry the game with only arrows. The second build, as I hinted, when you build that one, when you know you can't really hit arrows, or you cannot spam them. Imagine you play against 5 champions that have 5 dashes, and every one of them can dash your ultimate, then that's the build you want to build. It's a bit of an extreme example, but let's say if they have 3 champions that have 3 dashes and other 2 champions don't have dashes, then it's a good build to build. There's a big difference between a very good Ashe players and an average Ashe players. One of those is obviously Hawkshot. You have spots where you can Hawkshot the entire enemy jungle camp. No matter where the jungle is, you will see him. That's usually when you push till the enemy tower, then you can Hawkshot through that wave, and that's a very good example, because you can basically know who is he gonna gank and how much time he needs to get to you, and you can play aggressive with it. Most people don't use it well. And then second one is arrow angles and the way you have to hide. Hitting arrow when you hide is very easy. If the enemy sees you while you're casting arrow, then it's easy for them to dodge. But if you're hiding or out of vision, then it's very easy to hit it. As well, like the timing. If you want to hit an arrow, you can wait for, let's say, enemy mid laner to go last minion. Like 1 minion is slow, he's gonna use a spell for it, then you know he's gonna move forward. So you can arrow forward, he's gonna move forward while you already cast the arrow, and then you'll hit it. Those examples. And then there are a lot of spots where there are usually like spots when it's high chance of hitting. So if you wanna do cross map arrows on mid lane, for example, when you're playing blue side and you wanna do a mid lane arrow from bottom lane, it's the best spot to do it is when the closest rocks to the enemy tower. Around that area, that's where the mid laners are the most. So if you aim there, you will most likely hit as well.